Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the talk think show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American, black, Negro, colored didn't find their way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. Uh, you know, Being that we don't have our own social media set up, but that's being worked toward too, the platforms that we use, as everybody knows, they're trying to stifle free speech. And one of the things in free speech, it allows people to speak what they see, what they think, what they feel. It allows that to happen. When you stifle that thought, when you stifle what people want to say, it makes them, they're not as confident in themselves. Somebody can tell them what to do. No, that ain't how it is. See, life flows freely when you tell the truth. God damn, just tell what happened, what's happening. And if you're doing the right thing, damn, you're going to create something cool. And so that's not what's happening right now. What's happening right now is they're trying to stifle free speech with fear, a lot of fear, telling you things that they can't even explain, but they get the majority of the people to go by it. Well, not the majority of people, but they get a significant amount of people to go along with whatever comes over the idiot box. But tonight I want to share with you, I'm not going to be long. I just want to share with you a word that's thrown around every day. I mean, we use this word damn near more than we use our own names. And I want to show you what the word does, because a lot of people say when you use words, especially in a way where it doesn't promote growth, you're casting a spell on that person. And hopefully you can see that. So when you're growing a plant, when you see ladies growing a plant, they're not barking and telling the plant what to do. They're talking to a plant in a way where the plant will grow and be the best the plant can be. It's called nurturing, naturing, nature, learning from nature. But when you're organizing yourselves, there should be no blockages in your way, because that doesn't allow anything to form. Blockages is always the adversary, blood versus Crips. What does that create? Nothing. What does the community get from that? Nothing. It's not blooming into anything. That's what the word black means. Matter of fact, that's what the word black does. And so I realize many of us, we use that word like it's God itself. We always talking black. I'm black and I'm proud. All this stuff. Copper Colored Lifestyle, Hawkeye, how you guys doing this evening? I'm glad you joined me tonight. Harry Baker, thanks for being a first time or second time listener. But the word black, the aversion to the word black, because it's going to block you. And black and block is the same word. So I'm going to show you guys tonight, and why I have this image up of this bear riding this motorcycle is because if a person can get you to believe what he put out, you'll do whatever it is he tells you to do. And that's what black people do. Black people don't think of ways for themselves because they're not even really people. They're just things. Because nobody, you ever ask a black person, well, if you're black, how come the hair on your head is darker than you? And check out the look. They get, huh? Oh, they don't know. They just blank out. Notice the terms and the words that are used to describe people, especially the indigenous people of America. All of them calling you black is they're trying to erase you. And some people was telling you this back in the 60s. But when you ignored it. And then in the 70s, when they called you ignorant, you were mad, but you ignored what was going on in the 60s and you didn't pass it down to your children so they can blossom and grow. But that's what African Americans do. There's no, no, that's what you do. You build another person's empire on top of your mama's and daddy's graves, don't you? And you help them build it because you haven't organized yourselves in a way where you can build what's needed for you. Your job, because you're black, because you're a thing, your job is to do it for somebody else, right? So you got to start letting your children know what the deal is. You can't be 50 years old. I'm black, and the rest of the world look at. They already know. That's why everybody's coming over here. They know where the indigenous community over here is. Shit, retarded is like a genius to us over here. We don't think of nothing. As a nation of people, not one or two persons or groups. I'm talking about, can you imagine if a band of African Americans went over to India? Could you do over in India what they're doing here? No. Why? Because they wouldn't support you. But anybody comes over here, what do? You will put your son on the corner to go support them. This is what the African American does. Anybody who doesn't think that's the case, come on in. Then we can talk about it. Prove your point. Because see, what we saying is we got to stop the BS, y'all. Seriously. Daniel Maxwell says your EBT card won't work in Africa. See? You see? This is how people think of you. This is what people think of you. That your whole life is an EBT card. And you will fall for it. So Daniel Maxwell, if he's a Caucasian, he was probably one of them slaves that they bought over here. And this is what I mean when you call yourselves black. You don't think of nothing. Anybody can come say anything to you and you'll believe it. So let's take this Daniel. See, let's take this Daniel Maxwell, and this is how you do it. Let's take Daniel Maxwell. Let's say he's a European, because he's not an American, because they're European. They tell you that in the dictionary. He say your EB card won't work in Africa. Huh? Sniggle, tee. See, he think he being, but this is how they do. But check this out. When you ask Daniel Maxwell where he's from, this is to say if he's a European, a white boy. Yeah, I'm from America. No, where are you from? And then when you ask him why he isn't there, then he'll start getting pissed off. But that you don't stop there because you want him pissed off because he tried to piss you off by saying this dumb shit. You see what I'm saying? You have to stop letting people say things to you that I don't even know why they're talking. Haven't they fucked up this world enough just to say anything and for you to just sit back and don't say nothing? Because this happens a lot. They all over the place talking. Shut up, because the world is tore up since you've been whatever you're doing. If you look at America now compared to 300 years ago, you'd cry. You'd cry how much forests have been cut down. We don't even know how much forest has been cut down. We don't even check that out. What the forest is cut down. How many trees have been cut down in America since they've been here to build this place? Because they didn't bring their natural materials with them. They took yours. Guess what you did? Boy, can I get a job? So that's what a slave is. Somebody who builds another man's empire on his own land. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? So these terms and words that we use, didn't your people have terms and words that they used? Didn't they speak? Didn't they have a language? Didn't they have a way of doing things? I just posted the app to the if you want to call in and make some comments, because I realize there are a lot of intelligent people out there. And I'm hoping you're one. Please call in and let us know your thoughts, what you think should be done, how you think we should govern ourselves. What should we be doing? Please. You're in the chat. You can use that link to come on in. Gloria Miller says abortion, the overlooked tragedy for Black Americans by Walt Blackman, at a ratio of 474 abortions per 1,000 live births. Black women have the highest ratio of any group in the country. I'm going to read that again, because see, this is something we're going to have to pay for. You damn near killing half of your, what? 474 abortions per 1,000. That's damn near half. And you see why we're not winning? You see why everything we do is dumb? Every mistake? Huh? See, I was almost one of those abortions. Mama said I was going to get an abortion with you, and you kicked the shit out of me. Some told me not to do it. You don't understand. These babies are alive way before they hit you. We have a part of us that's invisible, and that's doing damn near everything for you, and you give it no respect. You waiting for somebody named Jesus, aren't you? If life is going to flow freely, we have to speak the truth for real, because those ideas, thoughts, and the speech that you use, they will become reality. Damn. Ain't that how you got here? So we got to start speaking truth. We got to start speaking what's real, because if not, you're going to confuse the children. As many of you are aware, you can change. A word can be a word. One word can have the same meaning, feeling, whatever as the original word. So what we're going to do now, we're gonna take this word black, and if you ever notice when you change the spelling of the word, it's the same word. I mean, if you take a vowels are the same. Vowels are the same. So if you take the word black and you put block, you put the word block, black and block. If you take the A out and put the O in, it's the same word. It's the same word. Black, block, bluck. When you look these words up, they all have the same meaning. Something loser, something that's going to lose. Nothing good comes out of it. That's why I say when you call yourself black, how are you calling yourself black and you're not? You're not. You're not. You're not. But you have been trained like that bear to ride that motorcycle. You will kill somebody if they say you weren't. And on the flip side of that, if somebody called your mama black, you go crazy. That's called confusion. And this is what the African Americans do. They do this shit every day. Tell me if I'm lying. So here's a word. Let me blow it up some. This is the Urban Dictionary. I don't even know what this. I don't even know what this is. But it's a big thing between young people and words. And some of these people, and remember, we're in a world now where we're all mixed up and stuff. And in some languages, these words mean something. In other languages, they don't. So what you have here is a hodgepodge of people trying to make these words and use their culture and what they were brought up in and to bring these words into existence. They're not words that so-called Black people or African Americans make up for themselves, because they don't do that. Because black means it's nothing. Block. If they block you from going in a place, that means you're not getting in. They're blocking your path, blocking your energy. Block, black. Here's the word black. We're just going to check this one out for a minute. Black, an outburst or of great distaste or displeasure. Great distaste or displeasure. Can you say that? Couldn't you say that's some of the definition of the word black? These are the terms. These are the only thing we can find out about ourselves. These are the only things we can find out for ourselves. We have a guest joining us, Tyron Loon. Welcome, brother. How you doing?
What's good? It's been a while.
What's happening, man?
Yeah, I'm liking the show. With
Thank you,
that
sir.
word black, yeah, it causes massive deception. And with deception on the English language, words cast spells.
Right.
Like calling yourself these crayon labels when you're not that color, it causes confusion and it places you into a category of making yourself a foreign national invasive species.
Say that again.
Calling yourselves these words that does not apply to you, your appearance, it makes you an invasive species, foreign national. Just like how these quote unquote black people play along with the word that Europeans put out in the ether, sub-Sahara or Bantu, or even the word Africa, because we are so tied into the words Africa, Black, and Bantu or Sub-Sahara that we limit ourselves to just a non-geography to anywhere on this planet. Because with words like Bantu or Sub-Sahara, that doesn't say that you're indigenous to Africa. It says that you're an invasive species to that landmass.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm glad you brought that up, brother, because it's not just that term. It's all these terms that we use when we're communicating with each other. These words that we speak aren't ours.
Yeah.
These aren't something that we came up with.
And they get very combative when we tell them that we should not call ourselves these words. And they say, oh, what about the white supremacists? They call you that, so we should call ourselves that, to go be the, what's it called? The polar opposite of what they created, which is this quote unquote systematic term called white, which Europeans themselves do not like to be called white. And they're trying to flip that as saying that, oh, they're victims and shit like that, when at the end of the day, they're just trying to copy you.
You know what, you're absolutely right, Tyron. You know, this is what I found in dealing with when you're trying to tell people, ask them to explain their position.
Yeah.
Because they'll find out that they can't. They're just repeating what they heard. They can't explain it. So press them on for them. I don't care what it is. Everything the Negro knows is what somebody told him. Because as kids, their minds aren't developed. They're given Similac and TV, and their mind is not allowed to process, properly.
That's why he's stuck on the word science. What is science? Is that something that's natural or abide by the laws of nature? Or is that shit just some man-made stuff? Exactly.
Well, Tyron, I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the next caller, brother. Please don't be no stranger.
All right.
Next, we have JM Hotep coming. What's going on, brother?
Halito, peace, brother. It's been a minute. It's been a while. I've been having a hard time keeping up with you, but I'm glad I caught you today. How you been?
Oh, everything is great. Everything is great. How about with you and the fam?
Everybody's good, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Your topic, man, is on point as far as we're calling ourselves a negative connotation, and that's a problem, and we got to do something about that. We got to get away from that negative connotation. And because like in the court system, they see it as a non negative, evasive, non-existing, that's what it means to them. So when you go in there and you classify yourselves as black or whatever, it's not good for us. So we got to, press on with the copper color indigenous people that we are, Aborigines, copper color, that's what we are. We have to put that out there continuously. I would like to make
before you make that point, let me make this point. Even those are terms that other people give you. But the term that other people don't give you is who you are.
Yes.
Who you are, who you come from. There's cities all over this country named after your grandmama, granddaddy.
Yeah, true that.
And we don't even know because we using these terms. What did they call themselves? So, I think that's what we have to get. What did they call themselves? Since we come from them, what did they call themselves? And we try to come up with all these newfangled dumbass ideas that don't work. And then just call yourself what you were. And we so full of shit and lie so much, we don't want to do it. And so I'm saying that for that little girl on the screen right there, for babies like that all over the world, this bullshit that we giving those children, hell is gonna look like a luxury vacation to what we go through.
Yes. Yeah, as a nation of people, everybody's looking to do their own thing, But one thing we got to do is change that fact that we are not black, we are not African Americans, and that's what we have to constantly put out there. And if enough of us do that, we can make change. And that's, what we really have to do right now. People know where they come from, some of us, but when we have names like, Jones, Johnson, and stuff like that, they're thinking that we got those names from the Europeans. No, the Europeans got it from us. They came here and took our identity. So they have to know that part also. But we have to make change by telling people we are not black, we are not African American, we are not colored, and all those other terms that they call us, we are not that. And we have to let them know who we are, that we are the original people of this country, of this landmass. And that's where we have to go and constantly put that out. Or else we're going to stay in the same spot, it's like swimming still. We treading water, and we have to start swimming instead of treading.
Well, brother, you absolutely right, and I really, really appreciate your comments, man. Thanks for bringing some light to the show.
You're welcome, my brother. Cool. I'll see you soon. Okay.
All right. Peace. So you see what these two brothers had to say. I mean, they like me throughout these cities. Brothers see it. We see all the brothers on the street because they're confused. They don't have no purpose. And so I'll ask them, hey man, what would your mama say if she saw you out here? And they bow their heads because they know they shame because their mama didn't teach them to be that way. You got out here in these streets, start listening to these dudes talk about nothing. And just because they have a cross around their neck, just because they wear their pants down to their knees, just because they wear a fur coat in Los Angeles, just because they drive a new ride that they themselves didn't create, they bought it from somebody else, because that's what niggas do. They don't create things like that. They go buy it from somebody and take it back to other people who don't have what they have and show off. That's how the African American does. That's how the African American has been trained. Don't look at it no way. Don't look at it no other way. You think if Shaq, they had the dude calling you niggas, the CEO, the person they put on TV calling you nigga. How come Shaq, because he's been to college, he's the big Aristotle, he got all his lewd, he got all these restaurants. How come Shaq didn't get with Magic Johnson's Fridays? And I know a lot of these brothers into that restaurant thing. Why didn't them brothers get together and do a pizza company that'll blow all these shits away? How come? How come that never happens? I mean, come on. They won't let us. You'd rather risk your health trying to play ball for him and not smart enough to set up the same thing he set up. Why? This is how you know you trained. You guys keep going that way. I don't think you're going to like the outcome. People, your folks left you a legacy for you to fuck it off just because you want to be somebody else. Just because you know when you speak, you don't even make sense. This is most people. This is why your neighborhoods look like they look. The people who represent them are losers. I mean, what? Don't call them that. What do you call them? Huh? You have some of these places in these cities, huh? They're not, huh? Huh? The indigenous people of America see these places and they walk around them all day. They live in them. And they are no way a whole environment, just set the whole environment thing ablaze. We can't do that. For real? But we rather pass down to her what these cats is flashing in front of our faces every day. So when you're organizing, especially a child, it is of the utmost importance to start training the child to be whatever destiny they are here to fulfill. Whatever we're here for, whatever the people who preceded us were here for, whatever our children are here for. I mean, it can be to be Black. That could be, that's your hell. Somebody tells you what to do and you do it and you don't even check with yourself. For real, cuz? For real. Hawkeye says the hoods across America are finished. How do you know what he's saying is true? All you got to do is drive through them. You see what happens when you kill each other out, when you call each other black and nigga and everything, any other word you use to describe yourselves, you create an umbrella over you, yourself. You create an umbrella over you that blocks any energy coming your way. You don't see that? You don't see that? So I got to share this with you guys. This is funny. And this is evident. So Hawkeye says J.R. Smith, the basketball player, had to run through most of his money before he started to realize he was a fool. Now he's back in college. You see, we got all these cats making millions and they going to LA, Vegas, wherever they go. But they don't go home to where they're from to uplift where they're from. And I don't care who you say doing it, they're not doing it. I know what they tell you, but look deeper. Look deeper. Be for real. Don't pass these kids down this stuff that you ingested now. Because this little lady right here, she won't have no kids. If you keep going the way you going now, she won't have no kids. Which brings me back to the bear riding the motorcycle. We're going to go ahead and end it. We're going to go ahead and end it here soon. But I just want you guys to remember this. And this is how you're trained. This is how most of us are trained. We're trained. We don't have anything to do with nature at all. And nature is what created you. Right? All of us. Every single last one of us. When a person takes you from what created you, that's one thing. When a person when you yourself will run away from what created you, that's another. And see, we always look at the world through the eyes of other people and not even realizing people are here to try to look at it through your eyes. When you train a person, an animal, a bird to do what you want them to do, all you have to do is give them a command, give them a word, give them a biscuit, whistle. Now, when the one who's being trained accepts those commands and start using these commands in reference to himself, he will say on the coat hanger, till needed. You know why? Because he's been blacked. Black can't move unless somebody moves it. Think of all the black items, things that you have in your house, around your house. None of those things move unless you move them. I don't care if it's a pen, if it's a cell phone, if it's a shirt, if it's a pair of pants, if it's a sock on the floor, whatever. If it's black, it has to be moved by somebody. This is simple. A lot of us are pretend, I don't see it like that, whatever. Those know black doesn't move on its own. It needs somebody else to move it. So referring to yourself as that doesn't help. Damn sure don't help the little girl. That's why it's important that you refer to yourselves as your people refer to themselves. Because if you don't, you will cease to exist. There's many towns, cities, because they tell you stuff about a lot of people, going to these cities. A lot of these dudes was cowards. They ran from home and didn't go back to check on it. I mean, they all over the place. You'll see they're the Negroes who are being gentrified in all these places. A lot of Negroes went to the city, tried to get in the movie Car Wash. No, nigga. You're supposed to look after yourself. You're supposed to look at after your family fortune. Whatever it is they were doing. They were farmers, most of them. But you just run, and run while the people who you sent your sons to fight in these countries are flooding over here. And you're looking how you look now. how you think you look. And that's why I say the use of the word black is detrimental, especially when you're trying to organize yourselves. And I'm going to close with one of our listeners. Ha, 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 ha. Check out what this brother say. So this is what I'm saying. I be having some, listen, the IQ, I say the IQ is what? Here, about 200 at least. Check out what this brother says. And this is simple. Simple. Being black does not connect us to this land. It disconnects us from our true heritage. Being black just connects us to grievances that benefit our so-called leaders and their handlers. And we're going to get out of here with that. Remember what Harry Baker said. Being black does not connect you to the land. You always in some, I can't breathe. I don't know what, always whining, begging, groveling. Come on, y'all. Who were your people? What did they do? What did they specialize in? I bet. $5 bet for anybody. I bet you go back and look at what your people did. It's going to blow your mind. We have 2 channels on YouTube. We have the indigenous one that's been on for a few years. And we just did put a new one out, Indigenous One and Guest. I have like 2 strikes on the first one. And this is what I'm saying. Free speech. Huh? Huh? Free speech. You see, there isn't any. Free speech is the speech you have with your girlfriend. Y'all don't talk to each other how you talk to the rest of the world. You have an own language between yourselves. When you can't talk like that, because we're intelligent enough not to say nothing stupid. We don't say nothing stupid. You just tell the truth. Simple stuff. You get mad because it's being said, but you can't back up your position. You can't back up your position. Whatever, and you trying to infer your dominance on some other people. That's not working here, homie. I mean, you have a lot of African Americans that take and do what somebody tells you to do, and what they tell you to do don't make no damn sense. Anybody tell you anything? It don't work like that. You got to think about what's being done to you. And they've been shooting the cannons for a long time. So I'm going to leave you guys with that one. So look, until next time, check us out on the Indigenous One and Guest, because I'm afraid I'll say something on a, who knows, and get banned. But, those of you who are out there who have the means and the abilities, come up with things like other platforms that we can speak on. You have a lot of intelligent, check it out. You have a lot of intelligent voices. Get them all together. Make a nice soup with it. Thank you guys for joining in tonight. We'll see you next time. Peace.